Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Deconstructing failure. When's the last time you actually took a minute to actually look back and go, you know what? I failed really bad in this specific area, and I want to know what I learned from it. Lately, that's been one of the things that I think is helping me to realize how to get more and more outside of my comfort zone so I can grow more. Because let's face it, you don't want to be that guy that's always beating yourself up over the failures that you've had. But I don't know, 2 years ago when I started the No Comfort Zone, it's almost 2 years and a couple months, when I went through that little challenge, it wasn't until I identified where I was actually at with my failures that I really started to grow. Because I would always focus on hey, I might not be where I want to be at in my life, but I'm really good at this and I'm really good at that. And I would actually pile on all of the different areas in my life that I would be excelling in, whatever that might be. Maybe it was sales at one point. Maybe it was in management and in the group growing a little bit. Maybe it was in developing a specific salesperson through sales training or doing certain physical milestones. Here's a funny one. A long time ago, about 10 years ago, I got into bodybuilding. And I went from initially when I after the coma and got myself back on track and all that stuff, I really wasn't working out. All I was doing was just, going to work and eating. And I ate a lot. I got to 238 pounds and I'm 5'9". And what I ended up doing is I ended up losing a bunch of weight through diet and exercise and working out like 3 hours a night at a gym after work. And I went down from the 238. I dropped that all the way down. I wanted to do it like in 90 days, but I think I ended up doing it like in 6 or 7 months. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But I ended up losing a ton of weight. And I went down from 238, fat, overweight, huge gut, to getting really lean and getting the six-pack and all that showing again. And then I decided, you know what? Now I want to put some muscle on. I got all the way down to 190, and I really wanted to get down to 185 or 180. But so I got down to 180. Sorry, I got down to 190. And what I wanted to do was build myself back up, and I did. And I actually got to 227 pounds, but with muscle, and I did it through eating nonstop and working out nonstop. And things, I was getting pretty big, and then I got a massive neck injury. I blew up my C5, C6, and C7, and that's been about the last time since I pushed any or pulled any real heavy weight or anything. So now it's just, exercising and just trying to stay relatively fit and healthy. But even when I was going out back then, when I was trying to accomplish things, I would look at what I was excelling in, and I didn't want to look at my failures. Like in the world of that, I hit biceps. That's not my strongest point back then, but it used to be so painful to work biceps, and I hated it. I hated working biceps. And I knew I had to do it, but I enjoyed working legs, chest, and back, those bigger muscles. But when it came to my biceps, I absolutely hated it. So I avoided them. And just in case in point is, my biceps suffered. They didn't grow like everything else. But anyway, this isn't a bodybuilding podcast. This is the No Comfort Zone podcast. So by focusing on my wins and stuff like that, it really didn't motivate me that well because I guess I was comfortable in my wins. But now looking back when I started the challenge, I realized, man, I'm a phony, because although I think I'm successful in these areas, the truth and the reality for me is there's so many other areas that I'm not even remotely successful in. And what I need to do to better myself is I need to focus on those uncomfortable areas or those failures, realize what the lesson is that I could learn, and then apply that lesson to future things that I can get involved in, and then see what will happen. And when I realized that, okay, I have some knowledge now about my failures and I apply it, what I had to do, and this is the big part that a lot of people don't do, I needed to risk a little bit more. I had to be willing to fail even more so, to put it all on the line and see what would happen. And that's really what the no comfort zone was to me is, okay, I know I failed. What did I learn? Now what I need to do is I need to apply that knowledge into my next situation, but I need to go like all the way with it. I just can't dabble. So I got some pretty good results over that 60-day time period. And now where I'm at in my life today is I look around and I'm like, wow, it's so easy to have a win here and there and get comfortable. And the older I get, the easier it is to sit back. But that's just the opposite. What should be happening is when there's a win, you need to go for more. And there is a time to rest. There is a time to enjoy. There is a time to smell the roses. But that time's not right now because I'm nowhere where I want to be at. And let's just call it what it is. There's a lot of people out there coming up on the holidays that are going to be dealing with some major challenges. Family, the stress of the holidays, money, the weather. In the Midwest, it's not always, pretty and sunshine out. It's, pretty gray sometimes, and it can beat you down a little bit. And, let's face it, you got to deal with your family, and that may not be the easy thing in the world. And on the other hand, you could be one of those other people who's like a shut-in, and it could be a little bit lonely. So a lot of stress can happen around this time. So this is really the time for you to get out there and really get uncomfortable and really put yourself out there and risk more, challenge yourself to be more, do more, and have more. All I can say is this, is that I didn't learn too much in my life from all my wins. And really, when I look back, I didn't have that many wins. I've had some good times in my life, and there are some things that I enjoy. But it wasn't until I actually identified what are my failures and why. What are my failures? What happened for me to fail in this situation? And what am I willing to do or give up so that this doesn't happen again? And really deconstruct what it is I was trying to accomplish at that time period. And you might think it's going to take I got to really think about this or whatever. Just grab a legal pad, grab a pen, and just start writing thoughts down or writing timelines down. Believe you me, it'll come up when you've got a failure or when something bothers you. Just hang around that time period for a moment, write it down, dwell on it, and see what happens. I think what you're going to find out is that you really did fail in a good way. And now when you learn from it, it was just an opportunity for you to be a badass later on in your life, and you maybe just missed the moment. It's okay to relive it. Go look at it, see what happened. Change what it is that you wanted in that situation, apply it to today's stuff, but make sure you risk a ton when you do it and watch what happens. You'll start growing, you'll start finding success, you'll find the relationship, you'll lose the weight, you'll get the bank account, you'll reduce the debt. All those good things will happen if you just get outside of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.